year ago, but then we got to watch New Year's 25th birthday. Did you like the movie? And if you saw, what's something we liked about it?
I like the movie. It has sort of like creepy vibe, and I like the way that the main character used her realized what this guy wanted, what was important to him, and used her wits and her problem-solving skills.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I enjoyed did that before with James McAvoy in Split, and that's how she, wins up, and she also finds, and she also finds a way to win over the Ray Fiennes character in The Menu again. 5 or 6 years after Split because she knows how to connect with him on his level to win him over, make him warm up to her. Julian Slowik is proud of Aaron for, that's her real name, not Margot. He's proud of Aaron for being able to relate to him and connect with him on his level, and that's why she is the only potential victim of his that he lets get out alive.
Right. So the Soul Survivor is not random, but they actually managed to use their skills to become survivors.
Yeah. What do you think of Hong Chau's Elsa, the other chef?
Oh, well, she's clearly devoted and willing to die for her boss. I guess I would have liked to have known a little more about her.
Me too.
And, why she was that way.
Well, what I really like about Elsa's character and the way that Hong Chau portrayed her is she knew not to portray Elsa as a pig, but still.
What?
She knew she didn't want Elsa to be a comedic lead, but still. So Hong Chau was able to walk the line between that and, the thing is, Ray Fiennes, who plays the head chef Julian Slowik, he's a jaded chef who hates cooking for wealthy, entitled people who are the only people who can afford his cooking, yet don't appreciate what he cooks. Whereas, Elsa's the other evil head chef, Special Island, who she's the newer cheery chef who's, like you said, is willing to die for her boss, Julian Slowik.
If you don't mind me asking, though, why would you die for him?
He will not replace me.
Replace you?
My point is, even as a duo of evil head cooks, of evil head chefs, Ray Fiennes and Hong Chau knew how to give them contrasting personalities that help us be able to differentiate with them and be interested in seeing more of them together and apart.
Right. Yeah.
He's not just a chef; he's a storyteller. The game is trying to guess what the overarching theme of the entire meal is going to be. You won't know till the end.
I thought Aaron and Tyler, the main young and hungry couple played by Anita Joy Nicholas Hoult, they were an interesting couple of main characters to watch too, because Aaron and Tyler both have the same goal of wanting to appeal to the two evil cooks of Julian Slowik and Elsa, but they both had different means and methods of doing so.
Oh, yeah, completely different.
It's okay that I'm not as into this as you are.
Oh, no, it's good. I'm sitting with the coolest girl here.
Okay. So what is it with this food thing?
Chefs, they play with the raw materials of life itself. And death itself. It's the muscle, it's art on the edge of the abyss, which is where God works too. It's the same.
That was beautifully put, Tyler.
Stop, don't.
No, I'm being
No.
serious. I think I'm starting to get it.
Really?
Yeah.
Tyler feel at that because the 8 months that Julian Slowik allowed him to appreciate their cooking, he watched so much of what they do, learning how their food is made without really learning how to do it himself.
Yeah.
Whereas Aaron knew what to do because she knew how to stop Elsa when, she faced tough competition with Aaron wanting to get on Julian Slowik's good side.
Come on, chef. I thought tonight was a night of hard home truths. This is one of them. You cook with obsession, not love. Even your hot dishes are cold.
Aaron learned that Julian Slowik was, I guess, once a humble or a simple cook like her. And that's why Aaron was the only one who could appreciate the art of good cooking. And she learned that Julian Slowik's first job in the food business was making one of these making one of these delicious cheeseburgers, and that's what she asked Julian to make for her.
Right. That's how he got to start. He actually got an award for best
Well, I'll make you a very good, very traditional cheeseburger.
I don't think you can.
I'll make you feel as if you're eating the first cheeseburger you ever ate. The cheap one your parents could barely afford.
In the menu, he went through a dark, it's like he went through like a dark, very tragic version of what Logan Rawlings experienced in Young and Hungry and Young and Sophia, where rising to the top and sacrificing personal relationships to be as successful, the successful high-end top of the line cook that he is. Where
And then not enjoying it when he got there, right?
Yeah, it's only
he
the
doesn't work
top.
for all these like dickwad entitled rich people.
And in Young and Sophia, Logan Rawlings, Logan Rawlings didn't want to celebrate something. She asked Amy Carrera's character Sophia Rodriguez.
Is that how I got all these awards? For something? Is that why I mortgaged my house and sacrificed all my personal relationships to build this company? So I could settle for something? Don't pat yourself on the back for a job not done.
I actually started just came to the menu to watch. I just want to see Amy Crow and John Leguizamo together because Amy knew of John from 2 Elena Valor episodes, but I also I really liked how Hong Chow is. I've heard Hong Chow played Pickles in plenty season 5 of BoJack Horseman, so I knew with her true demeanor for how she played Pickles, she was. I knew she was a perfect part I knew she was a perfect casting choice to play Elsa in the menu. I mean, obviously, Pickles of Plenty isn't a killer cook like Elsa, but they're both plain friendly people who know how to stay calm under pressure when they get angry at someone.
You will eat less than you desire and more than you deserve. It's a pleasure to serve you.
Do you believe whomever it was that decided to mark the menu as like a dark comedy, or do you think it leans more towards drama, or do you think is many a horror movie that leads more towards like actual drama or dark comedy?
I say dark comedy because it's satirizing high-end restaurants and the people who go to them.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, dark comedy because of all the satire.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, horror movie that's also dark comedy.
Yeah. But yeah,
the drama part is part of the horror part, I guess.
And that's also what happens in another movie Jenna Ortega made it in the same year. The Amy Crow's Elena Valor co-star because they were sisters of that show. Jenna Ortega has another movie like this that's a dark comedy satire of entitled Rich People called American Carnage.
Oh, you haven't seen that yet?
Well, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, we should watch it together.
But yeah, what's really neat about Amy Carrera's presence in the menu and what probably led to her winning the breakup performance award that she got for this is, you see, I think that, you can kind of guess, even though they're different types of stories, you can probably guess what the menu has in common with Young and Hungry that Troy just mentioned with Logan Rawlings sacrificing personal relationships to rise to the top of journalism.
Well, both of them, Amy Crow's playing an assistant for a jerk.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Calling Dr. Sunshine.
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
Dumb part, bad script. Fun shoot, though.
Exactly. So that's why she's a perfect choice to pick the menu and get to work with much bigger stars than the league with whom she previously worked in the menu. And with whom she previously worked in Elena Valor and Young and Hungry and Young and Sophia, and she won the Princesses of Power. What's really neat about what I found really interesting about George Diaz and Felicity Lynn is they're like the only pair of customer victims in the menu who didn't face a direct conflict with Julian Slowik and wronging his business, but he still had a lesson to teach them about that's related to what he does and what he asks.
What happens to an artist when he loses his purpose? It's pitiful.
No, you're right.
And even though he didn't write or direct the movie, he's still at fault for choosing to take on a bad role. And you told me after the movie you were disappointed in because unlike her other character from Young and Hungry, Sophia Rodriguez, she could afford to take on a new job elsewhere because she came from a rich family with no student loans to pay off.
Yeah, you start thinking, she starts out as a sympathetic character, then you realized, this is not quite sympathetic as a scene. Yeah. This is like her final dinner with this guy before she went on this new job.
Yeah.
She could have she could have just left earlier. She didn't have to worry about like starving or anything. Yeah.
Well, ironically, compared to most of the other secondary characters in the menu, George Diaz and Felicity Lynn were ironically one of the most sympathetic pairs of characters by comparison.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Didn't
Sort of-
he
sort of.
secretly sabotage your new job? And he told her at that dinner.
He did.
Yes.
And,
Literature. So he
yeah,
turned out to not be all that sympathetic after all.
Yeah, I just said that George and Felicity were probably the most big supporting characters in comparison to the other people who actually did want to sabotage Julian Slowick's.
Oh, right. That was a low bar. 'Cause the other people were worse. Yeah, right.
Right.
But see, she was going to stab him in the back, but then he stabbed her first. That would've been
Interesting. Yeah, John Leguizamo intended to base his movies or character in the menu George Diaz on another co-star he hated, Steven Seagal, but even watching a movie with that in mind after seeing interviews where John mentioned Steven Seagal, George Diaz didn't really act as mean as I expected him to be.
Oh, yeah, could have been worse.
I know that.
But yeah, Steven Seagal he's not universally liked behind the scenes.
Obviously. And yeah, I heard. Yeah, the comments said that George Diaz actually acted more like John's version of the original Luigi that John Leguizamo played in the Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah, which also I think it's really kind of cool that Anya Taylor-Joy was also acting with him in the menu. She got to play Princess Peach in the Super Mario Brothers movie the next year, which
Nice.
is very interesting for her because it's a very different league of movies from what we've seen her in previously. What I've seen her in previously in Split, The New Mutants, and the menu. And she really surprised me with how good of a job she could do at not sounding like herself. Not dropping her usual English accent to for Princess Peach. She knew how to sound to talk with an American accent for Princess Peach.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that two people from two different Super Mario movie adaptations got to act together in the menu.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
And I also think it's kind of nice that while the New Mutants features a different, unrelated cast to the first cast, people cast, they still share they have pairs of actors together because Anya Taylor-Joy got to act with James McAvoy in Split and then Nicholas Hoult in the menu.
Yeah, okay, that's nice.
So that's all I want to say about the menu. Anything you want to say?
Nope.
Okay,
It's worth seeing. Yeah.
I agree. And
I just don't want to. I don't want to get too many spoilers though. So.
even though they're two completely different kinds of movies, they still they really the menu and the Super Mario Brothers movie are both different movies that got me more interested in Anya Taylor-Joy as an actress.
Okay. Maybe you should watch Thoroughbreds.
Okay.
But we're Latin people, so, we're always working in the kitchen. I mean, we run American food. There would be no food dining in America if it wasn't for Latin people. So, yeah, she's done it.
Yeah, I worked as a server at a steakhouse.
Much like my diet, you're gonna have to wait.
That's no problem at all. I am an excellent waiter. In fact, if I don't get this job, I might have to be one.